Orlando began this decade much the same way it began every decade over the last 50 years or so, as a place defined more by its visitors than by its residents.
I grew up on South Street, so I was born and raised in the heart of Orlando, right downtown. You know, saying I was from Orlando, you always kind of got that kind of like, oh, people don't really understand. I'm from Orlando. People actually live there, you know? I mean, who lives in Orlando?
But this decade would be different. The millennium would mark a new era for Orlando. In 10 short years, Florida's largest inland city would remake itself. Using the hospitality industry as a backbone of its economy, Orlando would focus on diversifying other segments of its business base to attract a new breed of career opportunity. Industries like software, simulation, and digital media began to boom, fueling new growth and development.
I've always loved games, and I've always played them, you know, grew up with them. So putting the two together just kind of blows my mind.
If you go back and just look at this building, for example, this building was the agriculture and livestock market of the State Fair in the 60s and 70s, and in the 80s it was transformed into the Orlando Expo Center, and in 2005 it has been transformed into the world-leading Center for Emerging Media, a part of the University of Central Florida.
Building on an established healthcare foundation, the city would also seek to reinvent itself as a global life science and medical research destination.
You know, medicine is a social sport. And when we surround ourselves with partners that create new knowledge, they will share it with our students and with our faculty.
Orlando and the hospitals and the doctors that I come in contact with are going to be the ones forming me into the good doctor that I need to be if I really want to make a positive impact on the health of my community.
At the center of it all is a revitalized downtown, an urban core for the entire region, complete with world-class sports and entertainment venues and a vibrant arts and cultural scene.
The Performing Arts Center is going to be a place that comes together for people to have conversations about art, to have conversations about family, to have conversations about business, to come alive with the arts.
I live right there, actually, in the Paramount building. Well, everything's right here. There are very few instances where I have to leave my 3/4 of a mile radius to go do anything. I've got Publix downstairs, we got the movie theater, lots of great restaurants and bars, and everything's just so clean and everyone's so friendly that you really enjoy walking around this town.
This city in particular has done a wonderful job in sort of giving the downtown back to its residents.
Reshaping Orlando has also meant working to ensure opportunity for everyone, setting the stage for small businesses to succeed, and investing in the city's historic neighborhoods.
We're a family. Our girls that work here, the kitchen staff that works here, the guys in the kitchen, we're all family. You know, it's not corporate here.
It's a lifelong dream that I've had since I was in junior high school. So I decided to put my roots down here in Orlando and start my career. On the Amway Center, we have a joint venture which pretty much allows us as a mid-market company to perform on a very large project.
We've been able to bring new life, new blood, new people, new ideas, and most importantly, a lot of new things for the kids.
The effort to expand opportunities includes members of the city's increasingly diverse population.
Sure, Orlando is definitely the new American melting pot. We have so many different cultures, so many people from so many different places that you can't help but to learn something new, something wonderful, something good.
A lot of people come to Orlando seeking new opportunities. And so HOLA receives them and tells them, you know, these are the schools, this is what is closer, this is where the bus line is, this is all the different things available. And so it's a welcome.
As 2009 ended and 2010 began, the latest achievement, 2 rail transit systems, the Sunrail commuter line and the high-speed rail line that will connect Orlando to Tampa.
This will really put Orlando in a higher class. The rails will definitely make it easier for commuters, for people commuting just to their jobs, or maybe have access to different jobs.
First impact is in the construction of commuter rail and high-speed rail. That'll create thousands of jobs and have billions of dollars of an impact on the region's economy. But beyond just the construction, then you've got these two transportation methods that are really going to help tie the region together.
So, how did it happen? How has Orlando been able to remake itself in such a short time?
If there's been a common theme in the last decade, it's been partnership and collaboration. We've accomplished a lot because we've been willing to work together.
One thing that seems to be part of the DNA of this region is an affinity towards partnerships.
Despite the changes, some things have stayed the same, like strong neighborhoods.
When my husband and I decided that we were going to buy a home, we looked at Orlando. When we got to Delaney Park, we just thought, this is it. I love my neighborhood, and not only that, I love my neighbors.
And of course, safe streets.
Job one for the city is always public safety, and one of the biggest accomplishments over the past several years has been a huge decrease in crime. We've continued to invest in tools, training, technology for all of our public safety forces, and the result is one of the best police forces and fire departments in the entire state, I'd say the country.
Perhaps most of all, a unique sense of place and pride in being an Orlando resident.
I have Zachary, which is 5, and Xander, who is 2.
It's kind of nice to be able to tell your children, this is where I went to school. For example, I went to Jones High School, graduated from Jones on the west side. My wife graduated from Evans High School, to be able to take them there, to tell them, this is where I started, because there's a principle in that you never forget where you come from. To be able to tell your children that story, it's a great experience.
Yeah.
I love it here. Now that I live here, I can't imagine living anywhere else.
As our state and the nation comes out of this recession and things start to rebound, I think that this region is going to catapult much faster than others, and it's going to be even a more exciting place to live, work, and raise a family.
I want all of our citizens to be proud that they live in the city of Orlando. I want them to have the best quality of life, whether they're 9 years old or 90 years old.
It's just that I just want to make sure that everything goes well, because that's where I live, and I want the best for the place. So, and I don't want to sit back and wait, let somebody else do the work.
We are so on the right track.
So that's why I call Orlando my town, the city of Orlando.
I've heard the last decade referred to as the lost decade in terms of America, but here in Orlando, I think this was the decade in our history.